Billibatt Productions presents the Line Mysteries. Plopped down in the middle of the San Francisco Bay sits Lone Island, with its quiet streets, Victorian homes, and well-behaved palm trees. A positively idyllic setting teeming with mystery.
Okay, our thanks to Gary Gartner, the garden guy, for his many articles, keeping our gardens organic and pest-free. Up next, we have a new author on a lonely island, Lorna, who's written a book that confirms what could be what many people have suspected all along. Nobody really likes you. Lorna, it's a self-help guide.
Sure.
But isn't that just a sort of self-indulgent pity? I mean, isn't this just a big pity party book? I mean, you could call it the pity party planning book.
Andy, did you read the book?
Yeah, of course I did. But at the outset, for our listeners, this is what this book is going to sound like with this sort of title.
But you're giving people the wrong idea here by saying that. It's actually a stop feeling sorry for yourself and stop making excuses and live your life book. And here are some great parallel stories that could inspire you book. Okay.
Well, why don't you tell the listeners what nuggets of wisdom this self-help book can give the readers?
Well, that's the point, Andy. There are no secret nuggets of wisdom. We're all born in survival mode, and then we're socialized to tamp down on our natural instincts to be socially acceptable. And this is a look, or several looks, at how others and how you can personally get what you want.
Yeah, right. I noticed there was no G-O-D in your book.
Yeah.
That's kind of unusual.
Yeah, well, there aren't politics in there either. There's no premise that will give way to a heated subjective debate, no matter how hard you try, Andy.
Okay, fair enough. Well, what would you say a fair statement of this book is?
Well, first of all, I do want to say, and this is in the foreword of the book, that this is in no way a replacement for treatment or therapy for mental health issues. This book is for entertainment purposes only.
And entertaining, I'm sure it is, with a title like Nobody Really Likes You. Why don't you tell the listeners, how did you come up with the idea for this book?
When I was young, I heard of a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Right. The Dale Carnegie book out of the 30s, I think, based on the principles of the Bible, actually.
And I read that it was the self-help book of its day. It came out of the mid-30s, like you said. And the idea just came to me to write a book someday called Nobody Really Likes You.
Nobody Really Likes You. And how old were you then?
Maybe 17 or 18.
Okay. So this thing's been kicking around in your mind for quite some time now.
Easy there, Moses.
Well, why don't you just tell us, how did you get from A to B on that? I mean, how did you make the jump from those two ideas there?
Well, to my young mind, the idea of being so manipulative as to write a book that instructs someone on how to manipulate others just seemed so disingenuous. But years later, I actually read his book. But that's where I got the idea initially. I didn't base the book on opposing the idea of Dale Carnegie. There's a lot more to it.
Now, you have a lot of stories, a lot of vignettes that give examples from, chapters, and some of those chapters based on actual events. Where did you dig up these stories?
Yeah. Well, I enjoy...
I mean, did you have examples like, did you make the vignettes around, real-life experiences first, or, was it the other way around? Did you have a chapter first and then the story, or how did that work?
Mostly, they just came together. But the Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilding story is a favorite of mine. So I was glad that I could use it in the book.
Sure. Bump you up, yeah? Well, that's going to be an interesting take on his past that probably some of our Californian listeners will really appreciate. And I have to say, from what I've read here, that humor really plays a big role in this book. I mean, but don't you think that, is nothing sacred? Should we laugh at anything?
Nothing is sacred. Have our egos become so inflated that we can't look at life and laugh at its outcome?
Well, I guess isn't it what you make of it, But, I mean, why would you laugh at that?
Because you die. No matter what you do or how hard you try, the outcome is the same for all of us.
Oh, well, that's kind of depressing.
No, it's not. It's hysterical, and that is the point of the book.
Okay.
People need to learn to laugh at themselves again, don't you think, Andy?
Well, okay, fair enough. But, I mean, considering the global economic crisis we're going through right now, I mean, I'm not entirely sure that that type of humor is appropriate. I mean, don't you think that there's a time and a place for everything?
Oh, come on, Andy. People need to laugh, decompress, find joy again. Not in a global hope sense, in a personal sense. I mean, look at George Burns and Bob Hope and Phyllis Diller and Milton Berle. All of those old comics, like, why'd they live so long? Through the Depression, through World Wars. Laughter.
Laughter.
You should try it sometime, Andy.
I laugh.
Sure you do.
Look, I have a wicked sense of humor. Our listeners can tell you that.
I believe you.
Okay, well, I do.
I know.
All right, anyway, well, what else can you tell us about your book, Lorna, before we go?
It's fun and informative and available online and at independent bookstores.
Very good. So you chose the independent route. Very, very good.
Actually, it chose me.
It chose you. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for stopping by, Lorna Tollison. And if anyone out there would like a copy of Nobody Really Likes You, you can read more about it online or order it through your independent bookstore. And we'll catch you next time on the Island Experience next week at the same time right here on 97.7 K-Fetch. I am Andy Bowdoin. Good night. Thanks a lot, Laura Tollison, for coming in.
Thank you.
So what'd you think, Laura? How'd we do?
I really appreciate you letting me on your show. I had a good time.
Me too. I think it went good. So, okay, look, what do you think is next? I mean, are you going to do a promotional tour on this thing? Or
I didn't really have plans for that.
Well, look, this is what I think. I think you really got to promote it. I think you got to get the word out.
Of course, and it will.
Well, I mean, through what? Magic? I mean, look, you can't be shy about this thing now, Lorna. I mean, you really got to have some book signings planned. Do you have any?
Yeah, I have a few around the area. Yeah. I have a friend helping me with online marketing and stuff like that.
Well, sure, but I mean, like distribution, getting it out across the coast, other independent bookstores.
Why are you so concerned?
Well, here's the thing. Look, I think I could help you with the distribution. I know some of these independent routes. This is one of those books, though. I mean, I can feel it.
You sure have an odd way of showing it.
Well, that's just for the show. Look, you should come back in a few months, really, and we'll do a call-in show for it. But I think you need to be better prepared, right? I mean, people love giving their opposing views, and they're going to want to challenge you.
On what?
Well, on the God thing. I mean, I tried to introduce it tonight, and I guarantee you someone will bring it up on our next call-in show.
What call-in show?
The one that we're going to be doing in a few months together.
Oh, okay then. Just let me know when we're doing it.
Sure. But, okay, listen. We can cut a distribution deal tonight, you and me. For every book I get sold, I'll just take a little nickel.
Do you do this with all your guests?
Do what? No, look, not at all. A nickel. What's a nickel to you?
What's a nickel to you?
Incentive?
Listen, Andy, I really appreciate the vote of confidence you have, but I'm just really not...
I hate that I should have asked you this on air. Did you have any more books planned, or, I mean, what? I mean, you threw me off. I'm sorry. Gosh. I mean, okay, look, we'll go over it next time.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, do you have any more books, you're kind of kicking around?
Only fiction. This book was sort of, a one-time thing.
Uh-huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, look, don't tell me anymore. I'll ask it all next time. We'll figure it out then, okay?
Okay. It's a deal then.
Okay, cool. Hey, do you want to go for some coffee? We can go over the paperwork.
What? No. I'm sorry. I was agreeing to the next show, the call-in show that you were talking about, not to the distribution deal.
Come on. Why not? You want to sell the books, don't you?
Yeah, but I prefer to do the distribution.
Okay, but, what do you know about it? I mean, let's be honest here. Look, I can get you into these places, right out in front of the display tables. Boom, done. That's all you need.
Look,
look, you can see, I can see. We're going to do this. We're going to make a great team.
I'm just trying to find the right words here.
You wait and see. We'll be at 1 million copies by Christmas. I guarantee it.
I don't want to go into a distribution deal with you.
Then you are not serious about this. All the work you did will be for nothing, and you are going to end up stuck in a basement full of books, handing them out at garage sales, hon. Is that what you want?
Thank you, Andy. That's a really nice thing to say.
Okay, look, what I mean is come have coffee with me. I'll go over my game plan with you, and you will see we will be millionaires.
I can't. I'm sorry. I have to get home. How about a rain check?
Okay. All right, rain check, fine. But I'm going to hold you to this, hon. And you better get on the horn and start promoting this book. Call me if you have any problems. I'm serious now.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks again, Andy.
All right, no problem. All right, have a good night. Safe drive.
Hello?
Hi. I'm on my way home. Did you hear? Did you listen?
Hear it. I've already posted it to my Facebook page.
Oh, really?
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. Question. What do we know about book distribution?
Nothing.
Excellent. I have a project for us then.
Are you coming home now?
I'm on my way.
I'm so proud of you, honey.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'll see you in a minute. Bye.
The O-Line Mysteries are written by M. Sailor Billings. Music by Tim Lindeen. Tune in next week for another episode of The O-Line Mysteries, presented by Billibatt Productions. To learn more about the O-Line Mysteries, go to www.olinemysteries.com. The O-Line Mysteries is an original work of fiction. Any resemblance between events, locations, or characters herein and real persons, living or otherwise, events or locations is purely coincidental.